Okay, starting. Okay. Hi, good. Well, it's really afternoon. It's 12:01. So, welcome. And as you know, I always like to start with some repetition. Repetition is our cure, as we say. And it's really important, not just for you, it's important for me to hear these messages over and over again to remind myself. I do think it's a great idea to have a notebook and a pen available so you can write down some of these ideas. Well, hopefully all of these ideas, um, and incorporate them as much as possible into your everyday life. That's what that's what my goal is. And of course, some days are, more efficient than other days. There's something on my computer here. Looks like a scratch or something. Um, some days are, a little bit more discombobulated, but hopefully we have more very, what should we say, organized, productive days in general, which is the goal. One of the goals is good stability of habits. That's very important with our eating, with our drinking, with our sleeping. We want to incorporate really good habits into our lives, and it just becomes just part of us, right? That's what the goal is, to have all these health, wellness, and positivity ideas as part of our everyday lives. So, just going to go over, of course, the usuals that are really super important, but that do get neglected. And I'll just go through them, fairly quickly. This is being recorded, so if you do miss any of the ideas that I give over today, you can watch the YouTube. If you're on our WhatsApp, you will get it sent to you automatically, probably by today or tomorrow. If you're not on our WhatsApp group, you can email me, and I'll be very, very happy to send it to you through email. So I'll just give out my email address. It's nechamatk1234 @gmail. I'll spell it. Necham as in Mary, A. T as in Tom, K as in King. So it's NECHAMATK 1234 1234 @gmail.com. Okay? So if you want the recording or you want to send it to anybody, it's on YouTube, and it's free, and you can just watch it. And if you miss anything, you can go back and see it again. All right. So I'll just go through this fairly quickly. Hydration, 1 cup for every 20 pounds of weight. And of course, we always say, not coffee doesn't count. Any kind of tea with caffeine doesn't count. Water, or a pure herbal tea, like peppermint with no caffeine. Make sure the label says no caffeine on all your teas, okay, that you count as your water, okay? Okay, we know that. We do our meditation. Meditation is one of the ways that they say is proven to increase your health, immunity, positivity, all that, right? Mirror affirmations, very important. Go over to that mirror every day. You might even want to, if it's not, if it's okay, make a sheet of affirmations and put it somewhere near a mirror, either in your bathroom or, some people have mirrors in the hall, and work on doing more of those mirror affirmations. And how do you find the affirmations that really resonate for your particular soul? Think about, what would you want a super nurturing parent to say to you today? If you were, let's say you were a little kid, you know how little kids are, right? Little kid, and like, oh, you're such a yummy girl. That's probably what I would what I would say. That's what I think, what I've said to all my kids and my grandchildren. You are so yummy. And you guys hear me say that to you a lot too, right? But that's like a really cool affirmation for me to also feed my inner children, or child, or however you want to say it. So think about that. Like, what would I want to hear from a wonderful, nurturing parent? And because we all need to re-parent ourselves with love and compassion. That's like a super important thing for us to be doing. Because a lot of us, like, we're really like very high functioning human beings. Well, I would say most of us, right? But we all suffered some kind of trauma, either in school or teachers or, parents or siblings. Yeah, right? Yeah, definitely. Or, friends. So we all have parts of us that need healing. So, and I love that expression. I'm learning to heal all the broken places inside of me with love and compassion. So I can be of more service to more people. That's the goal. That's really the goal of my life and probably everybody's life. You want to be of more service. You want to be able to give more, because the more we give, the more we get, right? But that's not the motivation. It's like the more we give, the better we feel. That's the way it is. Green, organic, leafy vegetables. Not such an easy thing to pull off for most people, but try. And a substitute, which is not ideal, but sometimes necessary. I get these like green vegetables in capsules. I can, tell you where to get that, where I get mine. And we want to have at least 5 8-ounce servings per week. So you could split that up. It doesn't have to be 5 8-ounce. It could be 4, it could be 10 4-ounce ones, right? It doesn't have to be at a sitting 8 ounces of green. Because I know when I put in my bowl 8 ounces of organic spinach, it's like it's like a really big amount, right? So you could have 4 ounces, let's say at lunch, and 4 ounces at dinner, or something like that. It's a little bit easier to chew. And we want to chew, right? Just like that little engine that could chew. So you want to chew at least 25 25 mouthfuls, I guess is what you would call it, per mouthful. 25 chews per mouthful is really ideal, because you want to get those digestive enzymes in there. And we also spoke about, of course, good supplements. Really good probiotic is so important. As first thing you wake up in the morning, last thing at night, you want to do that. You also want to incorporate enzymes, digestive enzymes, really good digestive enzymes. If you need any tips about which ones to get, I'm certainly happy to do that, for you. We spoke about EFT. That's something I'm going to expand upon maybe next week. Tapping on certain points of the body, like for instance, I'll just do this really quickly, because this is not what I was going to emphasize today, but I always seem to get a little bit sidetracked. But this is called the thymus point. Everybody find that point? It's like right, like here's your clavicle, right? And you go a little bit below it, it's called the thymus point. This whole area I like to tap, and this is for immunity. So they say, really tapping this point is like really important for your immune system. And of course, everybody's very concerned right now about their immune system. And it feels really good. Like, I don't know if you feel it. I happen to have like one of these like super duper sensitive bodies. So I kind of feel everything like pretty intensely, so which could be a blessing. It's a blessing, and I don't know, sometimes it's not such a blessing, but everything's a blessing, right? Yeah, that's the way it is. But just tapping this point, it's really easy. You can do it practically anywhere. And you know what? I've gotten to the point, like even if I'm on the line at Walmart or I'm on the line wherever, I do things that I need to do for my health. I'm not even thinking about anybody else anymore. Like a lot of times I'll do my organ dancing while I'm waiting online, like these lines, I went to BJ's the other day, and like the line was like, I don't know how long, like at least 10 minutes. So I'm just like, I'm just like bouncing along there as I'm holding on, and like, it's okay. I don't need everybody's approval, but I need to take care of myself and be healthy, right? And we spoke about, of course, exercise, which, of course, I think all of you are on our classes, and Oh, now I'm muted. Oh, I pushed the thing. So exercise, of course, either 30 minutes of aerobics, and then if you can, also 30 minutes of yoga or stretching or tai chi or qigong, like Moshe teaches qigong on Friday. So I personally recommend to my clients an hour a day of exercise, one way or another. Really important. What's really cool? My son and my daughter-in-law they have children's Fitbits now. They're very inexpensive, and they bought them for Hanukkah. They were like $23 or something like that. They have them for adults. Moshe bought one. This one happened to be, I got this a while ago, so this was pretty expensive. I think this one was like $99 in Costco. But they have them now on Amazon. They're like $25, I think. And it's really great. And the kids really got into, like, my granddaughter was so into her steps. It's so beautiful. Like, she'll just say, okay, Sapta, I gotta start, moving because I gotta get my 10,000 steps in. Of course, her steps are like, a little bit smaller than my steps. But so it's a little bit easier for her to get 10,000 in. And she's 7 years old. But it's really a very cool thing, and it also, you can register your heart rate on it. They have, I don't like to sleep with it, but some people do. They register your sleep and, different things like that. It's a very cool thing, and it definitely gets you motivated. And Moshe, on his, he even tracks, like, what number he is in throughout the world. Like recently, he was like number 100 and something. He got so many steps in that day. It was like, I think, the 100th person in, the most steps out of 10,000 or something, which is really, really cool. It's fun, but the main thing is that it keeps you motivated, and it gives you some kind of way of, keeping yourself accountable, right? You need to be accountable. That's why working with other people is so important. Being accountable. That's why, like, people, let's say, who learn, they set up a meeting with other people so that they know, okay, I have to be learning with this person every single day. Like, I have, different things that I do every single day. I'm accountable to somebody, I'm committed, and I call that person every day at the same time, and it's really good. So this is also, it's a cool way of being accountable to yourself. And then if you want to join this worldwide, competition, you could also do that. Competition can be a very, very good thing. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. We spoke about the oximeter, which I told everybody, please buy one of these. This is very, very important. You can get these at any local drugstore at this point, because they say before the COVID, before your COVID symptoms get really severe, God forbid, but if they do get severe, your oxygen level will be low. It'll show up because it is a respiratory, it does affect your respiratory system. So if it's below, let's say, I think they say below 90 on here, it means that you need to go to the urgent care or go to your doctor and get yourself checked out, okay? Because it doesn't always show up as a fever. People say take your temperature. Doesn't always show up as losing your taste. I know people who have had COVID and they didn't have any symptoms at all, but I bet you if they had measured this, they might have seen that, because not everybody's so sensitive to their breathing and their oxygen levels, right? So this, again, we got ours on Amazon. I think it was like $20 or something like that. You get a really good one that has a really good rating, a lot of good reviews. And please do that for yourselves. It's a very easy, affordable thing to do. And for your children as well, if you have children or relatives or whoever. It's a nice Hanukkah gift or Christmas gift, whatever you give. What else do we want to emphasize today? We spoke about having goals, daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, right? Write out your goals and the steps you're going to take to fulfill those goals. Okay, so for instance, let's say you want to work on losing weight. Your goal is, let's say, I want to lose 10 pounds by March 30th, let's say, hypothetically. That might be way too much at this stage of the game, but whatever, I'm just using a hypothetical. What are the steps I'm going to take every day? Maybe some of the things I need to incorporate are weekly things I'm going to do that I can't do every day, monthly things, maybe, that kind of thing. Like, this is a really good idea if you want to lose weight, to keep track of your steps, right? But that's a daily thing. A daily goal is to say 10,000 steps a day. The 3-month goal is lose X amount of pounds. Whatever it is, whatever your goals happen to be. And of course, as a wellness coach, we go over what are the physical goals, what are your emotional goals, your mental goals, your spiritual goals, and you figure them out, together, or you can do that, on your own or with a friend or whatever, however you want to do it. And again, accountability, right? Spoke about a joy buddy, right? We spoke about making a list of things that soothe your nervous system and making sure you do some of those every day. Okay, and there's a lot of other things on here, but we're, running out of time, and I did want to emphasize one of the main things that I emphasized a while ago, but that I want to re-emphasize because this is super duper important for you guys and girls to incorporate, is this amazing book that I found many years ago. You can get it on Amazon, I think, for a few dollars. It's called Breathing Free. I don't know if you can see that well on there. This is called Breathing Free, and it's by Teresa Hale. And why do I love this? Okay, first of all, it says that on the top it says the revolutionary 5-day program to heal asthma, emphysema, bronchitis, and other respiratory ailments. Now, why do I say it's good for everybody? Okay, because illness shows up in the breath. The breath is the connector between the body and the soul. The breath will tell you if you're anxious, if you're depressed, if you're happy. The breath is a great indicator of where you are. Okay, and everybody needs to do breath work in order to be healthy. Okay, so and the method that this doctor, his name is Dr. It's really a little bit hard for me to pronounce his name. Buteyko is the way I think you say it. It's Buteyko. His name is Professor Konstantin Buteyko, who now this book was written quite a long time ago, so I don't know how many years ago, but in here it says 45 years of practical and empirical research. So he did tremendous scientific experiments with the breath and disease. And this is one of the most important books. I honestly don't leave home without it. I usually have it with me wherever I go because I need the reminders to do this. I do these breathing exercises every single day without fail. And it's a great indicator to me where my health is. So one of the ones I wanted to go over with you, let me just check my timing. Okay, I have a few minutes. So remember we spoke about doing alternate breathing. Everybody remember that? That's a very important yoga. It's called pranayama, alternate breathing. I'm not really good with the Indian words, but it's an Indian alternate breathing exercise, thousands of years old. And what does that do? It balances the nervous system. It's great for your health. It helps you calm down. It's good for your whole mood. So everybody who's into yoga generally does the alternate breathing for at least a few minutes a day. So, but what I do in the morning, I do alternate breathing as well. But what I do in the morning before I do my Buteyko is I check if I'm blocked. A lot of times, now I don't know if you have a blocked nose right now, but a lot of people when they wake up in the morning, one of their nostrils is blocked. So he has like a really easy nose unblocking exercise that I definitely recommend. and will definitely help your health. So I'm going to just go over it with you on here, and you can go back and watch the recording if you want to redo it. So you sit upright in a straight back chair, okay? So everybody could do that, right? Normalize and calm your breathing. So just take a few breaths, just normalize your breathing. Okay, then you want to take a small breath in with your mouth closed. He's very big on keeping your mouth closed, which is very, very important for your health. Keep your mouth closed as much as possible, and that's like a very good emotional healing method that we recommend highly. Okay, so you keep your mouth closed, breathe in just a small breath. He says breathe in a small breath, and then you breathe out a small breath, and if you're unable to keep your mouth closed and your nose closed, because the next thing is to pinch your nose, he says breathe out, keep your a tiny, tiny little space in the corner of your mouth. But ideally, you want to breathe in a little, breathe out a little, and then pinch and keep your mouth closed and breath out of your body. And then, this is how we unblock. You either move your head up, down, or sway while you're keeping the breath out of your body for as long as you can, until it's maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but you don't want it to be so uncomfortable that when you let go, you breathe through your mouth. We're focusing a lot on keeping the mouth closed and learning to breathe basically always as much as possible through the nose. That's a very important part of health that is very much emphasized in this book. And mouth closed, we say, right? Mouth closed, pockets open. It's like, what do you want them to say on your God forbid? But we think about that sometimes, right? Especially as we're seniors and we're getting older, like our impact in the world and what do we want to be remembered for. And I think for most people, you want to be thought of as a generous person. You want to be thought of as a kind person, compassionate, and a lot of that has to do with really controlling the mouth. We say you dig your grave with your mouth. What does that mean? With what comes out of your mouth and what goes into your mouth, okay? So the mouth is definitely a big part of like the longevity of your life and how you are thought of in the world, right? What goes in, what goes out. So we don't want it to be garbage in, garbage out, right? We want healthy in, healthy out, right? Be positive. All your words, and I always try to emphasize this to the kids, if you don't have something positive to say, please don't say anything at all, right? We all heard that growing up. But it is an important thing. So I want you all to please, please, please practice this. And I can also send you, there's some really wonderful YouTubes where he demonstrates this. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of other, people out there teaching people this. It's very, very wonderful, very important, and it really helps you to feel good. And it's really important for your immune system. And right now, especially with what's going on today, this is like what we want to emphasize. You want to keep yourself really strong and healthy, keep that inner environment really strong, so you will be healthy, happy, holy, and be able to be of more service, right? So that's my homework for today. I always like to give you homework on every class. I would like you, and again, I can send you his YouTubes if you can't find them. There's a very good man, actually, who teaches this, who I like very much. So if you email me, I'm very, very happy to send you his YouTubes where he goes over it. It's a very simple thing, and please, please order this book. I don't get anything from you ordering it, except hopefully more friends to have fun with in my senior years. But this is a really super duper important book, very easy to read, and you will help everybody in the universe. He has case studies in here of cancer, diabetes, all kinds of diseases, not just respiratory, because your respiratory system affects every single cell in your body. And that's also why I so much emphasize the organ dancing. Why? Because this increases your, first of all, it increases your heart rate, which is really important. It increases, when Moshe was sick with cancer, they said you have to, they were going to take out his lymph nodes, a lot of his lymph nodes, which would be very dangerous actually, because the lymph nodes have a lot to do with your circulatory system and keeping your body pure. And when you do this kind of bouncing stuff, and that's why kids a lot of times are much healthier than adults, because they do so much more bouncing, right? So that's really important for your lymph system. You want to keep yourself bouncy. So I do recommend also getting one of those little rebounders if you can. They're not expensive. You don't have to go for the really expensive ones. You can get, I have one in the den that I bought years and years ago. I bought it, must be at least 35 years old. I bought a really expensive one then. Then it was $200, which then, like $200 then was a lot of money for us. But my kids, everybody grew up on it, and even now my grandchildren are on it, and whatever, and I'm on it a lot, and it's just a great one. But during the pandemic, I decided, because my grandson was sleeping in that room and it was hard to schlep it in and out. So I bought another one for the living room, and it's an inexpensive one, but you know what? It's really, really good. I check my heart rate on it, and my heart rate goes up really nicely, and you don't have to do too much time on it. You don't have to even lift both feet off of it. You can just lift your heels up like we do with the organ dancing, and you will get a very good effect for your lymph system. And this is highly recommended by everybody in the holistic field. And you can get one, I think I paid maybe like $60 or $70 for it. Easy to put together. I did it myself, which is highly unusual. It was like, most of the times it's like, ta, or like, somebody put this thing together. But I was even able to do it myself very easily, which is a major miracle. So you can be bouncing your way. And we used to take it outside. I used to leave it, during the pandemic in April and May and June. I left it outside so that I was jumping outside. The kids were jumping outside on it, and so those are my tips for today. Homework, please get this book. Please, you can email me for the YouTube. Nechama TK1234 @gmail. Be happy to send you his YouTube that I watch a lot for the nose blocking exercise. And if you have any questions or comments, let me just see if I can unmute everybody or give you the ability to unmute. If you have a question or a comment, I'm happy to stay on for a few more minutes. You are able to unmute at this point, I do believe, I think. Thank you so much. Great to always be with you. Wonderful group, wonderful chevra of people interested in health. Birds of a feather flock together and hopefully stay healthy together, so we can enjoy for many, 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 many years to come. And don't forget your laughter, right? I forgot about that one. But anyway, you remember that one, I'm sure. Laugh, laugh, laugh. And don't take your dear sweet selves too seriously. That's a really good one. And just enjoy the day. This is the best day of our lives, right? And if it hasn't been so far, I hope it's been, especially if you were bouncing around with us. If it hasn't been, you can make it a great day. So if anyone has any questions or comments, I'm glad to stay on for a few more minutes. I don't know if people can unmute or not. I don't know if I gave them that ability, but I thought so. I'm not such a technologically savvy person.
I'm going to end it.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.